Hi people, part 2 of the Titanic build. So we're up to here at the minute. So as you can see on the diagram, these sit on top of, I still don't know what they're called, sorry, them things anyway, things that make the shape of the boat. So I'm not going to actually stick them in with glue. I'm going to try pinning them. I think they're just basically to try and hold the boat straight at this point, and I'm going to try and pin them in because when I've been looking at the steam engines I want to put inside, they're actually about 6 inches, which is 15 centimeters. Well, just a bit more than that. Now, if we just have a look at the actual ship itself, and we measure from there, if we measure from there up to the top of there, we are actually quite higher. 1 second, and I'll just sort of brought in another ruler to help. So from the top of the keel to the top of where the cross members are, we are actually only 5, if I try and get that right, 4 inches actually. 4 inches and 3/4. 4 inches, yeah, and 3/4. I'm looking at 6, so I'm actually quite a lot. Sorry for the bad camera. I'm trying to do it by holding it. I'm actually 1 1/4 inches out, but if we don't do it from the top of the keel, and we can get away with putting it in here somewhere, like so. So if we bring it to the bottom, just for the sake of it, we're actually 2 inches. Won't focus. We're actually 2 inches below there, so then we actually get enough room for 6 inch and 3/4. Oh, sorry, 6 inch and 3/4, which is perfect. So that's the reason why I'm not going to glue them in. I'm only going to pin them in, so then I can remove them if need be. And then after that, so I did buy myself a tripod, which is no use whatsoever because you can't see, because I'm using my phone, I can't actually see what you guys are looking at, so I can imagine it's be even worse of a video. So after we've pinned that in, we're going to move on to putting parts of the deck in. Deck, some windows and frames, another deck, more windows and frames here. Hang on. The bow's the front in it, so that's the stern. Deck on the stern, is it? I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. A bit of a deck on there. And then I'm hoping to get figures 9 done and 10. And then possibly start sanding, as it's telling me here. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far I get along, because there is a lot of cutting out and sanding. As you can see here, there's a lot of small pieces. They're not that small, but they're small. So I'll sand along the front just to make them nice and smooth. And then you have to sand these tabs off here, make them nice and smooth. There's also some inside there, which you have to get them nice and smooth, so whatever fits in there fits nice and snug. And I did see, here we go. So here it says all 90-degree corners. It says it here. All 90-degree corners, basically sand them round. So they're not actually a 90 degree, they're actually rounded corners. Now on my first Billings bolt, which is that one there, I didn't see that comment instruction, and I didn't actually do it, but it still turned out all right. It sails. It's a bit of a beast that. It's got 2 engines on the back, 2 propellers. It's got a thruster at the front. It's turned out okay from a distance. I'm also, I know a lot of you probably know how these pieces are cut out, and how to get all these inner pieces out, and you have to, the fact that you have to sand them all, but I'm just going to do a little, maybe 10-15 minutes on this of how to get it out, hopefully less, but how to get it out, what my favourite blade is to do it, how to trim these out, just so anyone who's thinking of starting a boat knows full well of how much work is into getting these actual things out of here before you can actually do anything else. Back in a bit. Okay, so for this bit, I used to use these ones, which I believe are 11 blade 11s, which is not quite sure if you can see. So look, oh, my big hands are in the way. Happy days. So I used to use those, but the tip used to always snap off, which was just a waste, because then we used to have to keep changing them all the time. So what I went to for this, let me just lift you up so you can see. Alright, okay, so I've lifted you up to hopefully stop my hand from blocking, which hopefully it does. So I've changed to these, which I think is well, they're a curved blade. I think these are number 10s. I'm not sure. So I do use these, and they are very good. I will show you very quickly. So always keep your blades away from you. Remember, they are sharp. Now, this one has been through hell and back. It was the only one I had. I bought these yesterday. So what I've been doing, which has worked quite well, is I've been sanding them. Now, you are only supposed to go one way with a blade. So I've been going like that, away from the cut and away from me. Away from the edge, sorry, and away from me. Now, I have heard you are only supposed to sharpen one side of the blade, but I've been doing both. So I do it that way, away from my fingers again, which has been working quite well. It does go straight back in to action, and I just put it on the tab and rock it like that, which it does go quite well, but it has reached the end of life, I think, which I will put that in a safe place for a moment. Put this one in. Remember, they are sharp, so be very careful. And then all I do is put it on and see how easy that one was. New blade and all. Just go round nicely with that. Just make sure you can see. Yeah, I think you can. It's murder this filming with a phone. So I'll do it left hand just to make sure. So you just press down like so. I'm sorry if my big head gets on camera as well. No one wants to see that. left hand. Just very quickly push this out. Now, obviously here, if I cut like that, I will get away with it because it's the end and there's nothing either side of it. But if it was something close to something else, like this inner bit here, luckily there's no tab on the end. But if there was a tab on the end, I wouldn't be able to cut it down. I'd have to jab it, which I do jab it sometimes. So what I mean by jab it is I get the point on it and then just work it down like that, which does the exact same thing. But you've got to be careful that you think when you're pushing down, your fingers don't slip, and because don't forget, sharp. Happy days. So we're nearly out. Sorry if anyone's getting bored, but nothing I can do. Just turn off, watch someone else. Okay, pop that one out of the way for a minute. No longer need that. Put that down there, come on. There we go, that'll do. Leave it there. Put them back out of the way. Now, I don't know if we can see these, so give me a second. So, these here, these little bits here, a lot of the time, there's something in them. So you have to be very careful to get it out, because these edges here do pop off. I have done one that's popped off. But luckily it was on the back. So this is the back of the one that I have popped off. Where is it? There it is. So where? Oh, down. Oh, there we go. I popped it off there. I don't know if we can see it properly. Focus. Put that behind it. There, you can see it. I popped it off. Luckily it's on the back and not the front. And also these are very thin. The scalpel doesn't even go in them really. So you probably do want the 11 blade for that. And then what we do really with the 11 blade, not the 10, is just turn it round. What I find, turn it round on the back and kind of poke it out, like just break it first, and then once it's loose, just keep trying to get it out, and once it's loose, blow it out, and then we have a nice, I don't know if we can even see that there, do I? Too high. There we go. We have a nice little hole there. So I'll show you where you can see it on camera for definite. So where are we? We're there. So turn it round. Let me find one. Okay, we'll do this one here. Now we do. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. All we do is just manipulate that there. Make sure it's cut. Then push it out. There we go, it's gone. Give it a blow. Oh, it's not clear, is it? I hope it was clear that. Give it a blow, and we're fully through. Have a hole all the way through now. So I'll continue with that off camera because that one is slow and boring. And then these little tabs here. Yep, these little tabs here. All we do is, you should be on my left side really, shouldn't you? The camera. All we do, let's see if we still get that. No, gone. Come on, you clown. Messing about. Again, the tabs, we just literally put our scalpel on line as much as we can, and then just press down on this side, and then flip it over do the other side. Do the other side here because the laser doesn't always get it cut through. So if we do that there, and if you heard it, if my mouth wasn't thinking, running away, and then we can just push it out, and it's perfect. No cuts, no pieces of wood ripping out or anything. I'll show you one more time on the big one. Why are you moving it? Okay, so we're there. Yeah, we can't see, can we? Fantastic. We need to go to my left side. Back in a minute. Okay, so we're on the left side now. Oh, I bet my ugly mush is going to get in there now. Let's just turn you away from me a little bit. Sorry about this, guys. Girls, whichever. If anyone does have any ideas of ways of filming without being a prat, let me know. So, we'll go for the big one. Get your scalpel on the nudge it. Line it up. Rock forward. Rock back. It's broke. That's it. Well, it's broke through one or more of the layers because it's plywood. Turn it over. Get your nudge it. Line your scalpel. Can't see it now. Line your scalpel. Rock. Press. Oh, it's gone all the way through. We went all the way through the first time, but it's not come out properly. Oops, properly, because here the laser's not gone through. So get your scalpel and just score it like so. So then it'll come away and it'll not rip anything off there, like one of these. See here, where I've pulled the nudge out and the laser didn't cut the back, and I didn't score it with my scalpel, so I've ended up with big gouges. Learn by your mistakes, as they say. Yeah. So, oh well, crap happens. I'll finish this and then I'll come back if anyone's still there. Okay, so I've pulled all these little tabs out around. I've also done the round ones, but I will just show you this one. So on the round one, obviously, if you get your scalpel and cut across, you're going to have a marking this side and this side of your wood. So I put the blade facing up. I come round the corner of the corner. I come round the curve of the circle, and I just push down and forward halfway. And I do try only getting halfway because it will go into here and it might end up showing. Flip it upside down and just do the same again. Now I'll just try and can't score that because it doesn't look cut properly, and then I just again push down. There we go. And that crack was it going through. So hopefully it should push out. There we go. Happy days. Now, as for getting these too high again, my God. As for trying to get these flat spots out here, depending on the size of the hole, I use a round fire, which this one is quite a good size. It will take it away, but this big one here, obviously, it's too big. So what I do is I get one of the files that are flat and round. Obviously, I just use the round bit, but what I do is I test it on here first, and then where I'm happy with it, like there, because that's like a good fit into the circle now. I'm hoping you can see this. It's a good fit into the circle. So then I kind of like put my thumb on it, just there, like so. and then turn it around inside, and then I just go to town on it with my thumb as the guide. And now now you can see it's actually a round hole. I'm hoping you can see that. I really am hoping. Oh, sugar. And the same with this one here. It's quite flat there. Get a position I'm happy with. Put a finger or a thumb on the back of it, and then just go to town. Up to your finger, out, up to your finger, out, over and over. And it gets it into a nice curve like that. And just do that on them all. I'm actually going to do that with these two as well. Like so. No, need the smaller one for them. Getting it in there like that. Round. That one's round now. Happy days. And now all I have to do is either carve or file all these little tabs out so they don't mess me up. And all around the edge, it's very rough cut on the edge. And then see where we are after that. And when I come back, I'll have the model here with starting to pin them bottom two pieces in, just to, I think, hold the boat straight, the ship straight, while we start putting everything on it. Okay, so just very quickly show you pinning this in. It's quite it's rocking about quite a bit, that. I don't know why. But so the instructions say we need to start here, which is quite obvious as well, because there's actually some nodgets out on the still don't know what they're called. It'll come to me as soon as I start the video. So the video is quite long at the minute, so I'll just quickly show you that. So putting these in here, putting these in are quite fiddly. You've got to try and like bend it in without bending the pin. I don't know why, I might have the wrong pin pusher. I'm not sure, to be fair. In fact, I might actually run a drill down it if I can, and just make the end of it a little bit bigger. So it's quite hard to get them in. Mine don't actually go all the way in. Focus. Why are you not focusing? I've got a circle on the screen, I don't know what it is. Come on. Oh, bugger. Something's changed. What's this? Oh, there we go. It's focusing now. Sorry about that. So mine don't always actually go all the way in, and you can actually see on the side of the pusher, it's actually a little bit misshaped. So I don't know why, but that's as far as mine go in. They don't go in anymore. Again, don't know why. I might have the wrong pusher, I'm not sure. But there's not much to them. It's pretty much it really. It's just that and that. And a pin goes in the end. And just before we do that, again, when you are cutting out the wood, it's always advised to use a cutting mat. I'm only using a little one at the minute because my big one, for some reason, has gone all shapes and sizes. It's just twisted and it's horrible to use. I need a new one. So, wood, you need the bit where I've wrote the number on. So, obviously this is the top, that's the bottom. And we need this here going towards where the motors are. So, the motors sit here. Yeah. So this is actually the, I'm not going to try and use the technical terms of different sides of the boat, but this is the left side. So I'm going to show you putting the right side in. I'm just trying to think. Hang on a minute. They're both the same. So I have to turn one upside down. I have to turn one upside down, so it's irrelevant of which side they go. Is it starboard side and oh, I don't know. Anyway, push it in. Sorry, get it over there. And we need to try and get it over these braces like so. Push it in. It's going in nicely. And then you'll not see me do this bit, but I'll do this bit here first. Push it forward, and then here, push that forward. Just get your fingers on these side pieces. I really do need to do my own work, don't I? It's embarrassing. And then just push it in, push it down, which is quite a good fit, which I'm quite happy with. So it's actually quite tight. Tighter the better. And I'm actually just going to stick this one in as well. The left side of the boat ship. Now we're going to have to put it in. Don't know if you can see much here. That's why I'm trying to do it quick, because people will be falling asleep now. Be in a coma soon. Sleeping coma. Just noticed one thing might be loose there as well. And then push it in again, like so, all the way along, a little bit at a time. Don't want to snap anything. Just keep manipulating. I don't know. Can't think straight now. And then here it's sat on top. So if we lift the right side of it up, like so, if we get our fingers underneath and we just lift it up, and if we push it down together, it will push it in place exactly where we want it, like so. Ta-da! Now, all we need to do now is get the pin pusher with a loaded pin, which we can see there. To be fair, cameras on phones are quite good, so you can actually see that. Anyway, now I did have a ruler somewhere. I dropped it. If we just take the ruler, like so, you don't have to if you don't want to, your eye might be good. Put it in position, like so, and then you know where you're actually pinning. So if I put my pin in there, like so. Now remember, you don't want to push it all the way in, because you want to be able to pull them out. Mine's gone all the way in, bugger. Never mind, I'll still get it out. Now, and that's it. Now you can also use, I think they're called dressing pins. I have a tub of them from a previous build. I advise you not to reuse them. Once you've used them, throw them. They're crap. Once you've used them, throw them. Now, what I do, I like these because they're quite long. They are quite long. And what I do is, I've not got any scrap pieces at the minute, so I'll use this piece just to demonstrate. I put it on the top, like so, and I push down into the wood, because if you're unlucky, these plastic balls break, and guess where it goes? Straight inside there, and it hurts. So don't do that. Get yourself a piece of wood, and you might be able to just push it in with your finger, but after 50 of them it does get painful. And then just push it in like so, and that'll also hold it in place. And as you can hear, there's no movement in there now. It's tight down. And if I tap here, you can hear it's hollow because there's still movement under it. So it's worked anyway. So I'm going to continue this off camera because the video's got very long, and I know it's not very interesting, but it's only going to get better. I can't wait to start getting the steam engine in, which will be coming hopefully for Christmas, which I've just worked out as well. It really isn't going to fit. The base, the minimum base is 3 inch by 3 1/4. Now if we get this ruler in here, well, we don't have to, we can do it on the top, duh, with 2 3/4, 2 3/4 that way. And from the centre of the keel to the outside, we are actually 2 3/4 again. So we're either going to have to sit it on there and make do with the fact that hopefully there's going to be enough room for it to sit in at 6 inches, which is, as you can see, which is 1 1/4 up, 1 1/4 up past the first deck, which is a bummer. It really is a bummer, that, guys. Or like I said, the reason I'm pinning these in is to take them out, and then we might have to just nodge these out. I probably will nodge it, move that piece of wood, probably will knock out on this one rather than that one, because it's already a weak one. It's already a weak one. So I might cut that out totally once it's all done, and then just brace off wherever I can if I need it. But I don't think I will. We're not exactly hitting the sea, are we? So, and then if we do that from down there to there, we've got plenty of room. We can actually come up a bit. And the only thing we have to worry about then is nudging another one out. Well, no, actually, because if I nudge it that out, I've got the space from this one to this, which is quite a lot. It's quite a lot, that, which it should go in. We should get it in there. Might have to take that bit out there. My God, you can't even see, can you? Just come down a bit. Terrible at this. Time's ticking. Come up a bit, so oh. There we go, that'll do. So we might have to nudge it that out there. I think about 1/4 inch. There. Which for the guys, which I am in millimetres. I'm only picking up inches because I'm planning on building a steam engine and everything's in inches. So I've actually learned about the inch. So we've got the inch, we've got the 1/4, we've got the half, we've got the 3/4, got got from 0 if you like, from 0. 1/4, half, 3/4, full inch. And then you've got 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch, 2/8, which is a 1/4, 3/8, 4/8, which is half, so on and so on. And then you've got 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, 5/16. And if you want to go really complicated, you've got 32nd down here, which, you know, anyway, go and watch YouTube. You'll have to explain it better. So, yeah, I just hope I can pull it off. I just hope I can get 2 in. I want 1 for there and 1 for there. And just in case anyone has made it to the end of this video, I'm just going to ask you, what ideas anyone's got for here. I will actually just put an extra video on about this of somebody maybe helping. See, what I've got here is, oh, zoom out. Obviously we got 2 propellers, yeah, well, 2 props. Propeller will go on, yeah, one here. And if anybody knows about the Titanic, you'll know we're missing one, yeah. Now, it's a shame. It really is a shame that we might have to miss putting one of these on and just having it as a dummy. Now, I would like to put, I don't know what anyone thinks, but if we could put, if I could, I don't know, maybe drill, it's 5mm thick, so maybe a 4mm hole, not a lot to play with and all, through, and maybe just to here, or even that one, then cut down and get a gear on it, which we would have to, or I would have to cut very, very low to get a gear on there, which really is disappointing because I do really want the 3rd propeller to work. So if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. Thanks for watching.